This is the front. This is the back with a nice big zipper. You've got a pretty wide gusset. You've got an adjustable crossbody strap. And then on the inside, you have a zipper pocket. And look how big it is. There's plenty of room. Let me go grab the stuff that I carry. Hi everybody, this is Barbie with Jeannie's Designs. And yes, I have my little mini shirt on again today. It's clean, no worries. I just love it, it's very comfy. All right, so what we're gonna do today is the SewYours Laverna. It is a cute bag. It is a confident beginner intermediate. I don't know why, I haven't made it yet. So I don't know why it's an intermediate other than it's a bound bag. That's probably why. So let's go over the pieces. I have 2 zipper overlays that I cut out. She gives you those pieces to use to cut out. I probably will try to create an SVG file for myself out of those pieces, but I just didn't mess with it today. Let's get all my pieces out here. So I'm using cork and a heavier cotton. So the only interfacing I'm going to be using is on the gusset and the front and the back. I'm not using any other interfacing for the lining in particular. So no interfacing. So piece A is 2 exterior and 2 lining. So I'm using this gorgeous purple cork and then my leopard floral from Fabric Therapy. Absolutely stunning. So I have 2 pieces of each of that. My gusset, same thing. I have a piece of cork and I have a piece of my floral. The interfacing that I'm using for that is new for me, so we'll see how it goes. I am using Fabric Therapy's Theratex Fusible Fleece. I've never used it before. So I have 2 pieces of that for the front and the back exterior. And then I have a piece for the gusset. She does, Melissa does give you the measurements and the pattern pieces for the stabilizers. Love that. Don't ever stop, Melissa. It's fabulous. Okay, the zipper panel is piece F, and I have 2 exterior and 2 lining. And right now I don't have any interfacing for that. She does give you the piece for that. I may actually put some of that Theratex on the zipper panel. I'll have to wait and see. I probably will. Piece H is the figure 8 connectors, those decorative connectors, and I'm just using cork for those. My strap connector, which I think goes all the way around the bag, is a piece of cork as well. And then my 2 lining pieces, there's an interior zipper pocket and an exterior zipper pocket. No interfacing on those. And that's it. Let me go grab all my hardware and I'll go over that. Okay. So I have some eggplant zipper tape, number 5. And I am putting 2 zipper pulls on the top. I may change my mind on that, but I'm going to use these long Paris for that. And for my inside zipper, I'm going to use one of these pop tabs. For the decorative outside, I have 2 connectors for that. I have 2 O-rings, and I have 1 slide adjuster. And then I have some eggplant webbing. I think that's what I'm gonna need. We'll see. Let's get started. Thanks for watching. Be sure to click like, subscribe, and comment, and feel free and share the video. let's get going. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is, I thought, because I've never used Theratex, and I don't know if you guys have either, I am going to place it, I'm going to do it with you. I'm going to place it on my exterior. Now, it is cut outside the seam allowance, and I think it's pretty sticky, actually. Let's see how I get the tape off. The paper, not the tape, the paper. There we go. And I did see somebody demonstrate this to just do, I think it was Lauren Mormino actually, to just do a little at a time because, oh my, it is very sticky. I'm gonna have to do this where I can see it. Let's see. Oh my. Oh my, you guys. That was very easy to do. Let me see if you can pull it up. No. Once it's down, it's down. Okay, let me do the other one here. This is the first I've ever used the Theratex interfacing from Fabric Therapy. Now, I have tons of her other fabrics. You know, obviously the lining of this bag is from her. But I've never purchased, I'm kind of expanding my interfacing world. Partly because you can't get Decaville Light from the resource that I like to get it from, Barb's Scott Interfacing. So I did a terrible job cutting this out, but it'll be fine. It's a bound bag. Just do a little bit of a time at a time and smooth it out. Look at that, you guys. And it's not heavy. Oh dear. I was hoping I didn't like it. All right, let's do the gusset piece. So here's what I'm using for my interfacing. That's also from Fabric Therapy. Oh, lordy girls, lordy, lordy. Okay, so those are done. Let's put it on this piece. Now again, I think this is out of my seams. Yeah, okay. Oh boy. Now, you know, with cork, you don't have to use interfacing. I just thought for this bag, it might be good to have some interfacing. Oh my. Guess what Barbie's gonna be doing? You'll have to let me know if you've used any of this before. I know it's very expensive, but I'm guessing that it's worth every penny. Now this is a little too long, so I'm gonna cut off some. Oh my. Okay. I like it. Now, I will say, for example, this was an end of a piece. I'm keeping that to use behind magnetic snaps, behind, you know, stuff, just like I keep Decaville Light. So I will be keeping those scraps. So I'm going to put that in my little scrap drawer. Okay. I just wanted to come on and do that. Let me get my other next step ready. All right, so I modified the pattern just a hair because I don't have 3/4 inch double connectors. I only have the 1 inch. So my piece is 2 inches wide. And all I did was divide it down the middle, put a mark there, and put a piece of sticky tape. And I'm just going to fold that in, and that'll end up giving me 1 inch. And I'm thinking that this is okay, you know, how it'll look on the front. I'm wondering if I end up just putting 1 of these on the front instead of 2. I think there's probably room, but we'll see. You guys will do it together. I don't know. So this is one long piece that we're gonna divide into separate pieces. So one is this long. One is this long. I'm just cutting them as I go so I don't mess up my measurements. Okay. I'm terrible at math. I've been always terrible at math. I was just telling somebody the other day I did not inherit my dad's genes for math. And then this one should be... It's a little bit short. It'll be fine. Okay, let me put this out of the way. And get my small one. So you have one long one, you have 2 that are the same size, and then you have a short one. So that's what you should have. And now we're on each one, we're going to measure down a certain amount because that's where it's going to be folded over. Interesting. Yeah. Interesting. Okay. Feels like it's long. It's a long mark on these short guys. I think it'll be fine though. Okay. Now let me get my 2 connectors here. So short one, medium one. So I want to take these 2 first and attach my double ring, and then I'm folding that down. Wow. Oh, I'm only folding it down to the line. Okay, sorry. I've done this a million times with other patterns, but yeah. So that's what you should have. That line, we're just putting our double ring on and folding it down to that line. Same thing with this one. And we didn't top stitch yet, because when we put them on, we'll top stitch. So don't make that mistake. I wanted to do it really bad, but I didn't. Okay, so now we have those 2. And then we're going to add the other pieces. Yep. Okay, so I think you take the longer piece goes with this shorter piece. Very interesting. Same thing. Fold it down, wrong sides together with the other side of your double D ring. Now you could, and I may do this, put some double side tape just to keep these in place so I don't have to clip them, but we'll see. Same thing here. Just fold that down to that mark. And then you have your 2 pieces. I am going to use some tape to hold that so I don't have to clip them. So I'm just going to put that tape right there. Yeah, better. Now, just clip them. If you don't have double-sided tape, just clip them. No harm in that whatsoever. Same thing here. Better. Okay. Every time I said, you guys, you're gonna laugh at me. Every time I say better, I think of butter. Better, butter. What was that commercial? Was it I Can't Believe It's Butter or something? I don't know why I think of that every time. Kind of weird. I know. I'm kind of weird. All right, one more tiny little piece of tape. Here. Okay. All right. So now we have two pieces. So now take one of your outside pieces, and again, I'm going to have to alter this just a little because I have 1 inch, and I'm going to put this first one on. Yeah. I'll put the first one on, and then I'll see. Let me just see. Because then it'll go to here. And this one will. Hold on, let me alter the pattern. Okay. I'm kind of playing with it because the 1 inch, I don't think it's a problem, but you gotta come all the way off here. Let me see. If you're gonna use the 3/4, you'll be fine. But because I'm altering this, oh, okay. I'm going, oh, Barb, oh, okay. Okay. It's a little off here, so you know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna give myself a tiny bit more room here. It's not off by much, and it was probably my mistake because I didn't, I'm using 1 inch. Let me see if that's better, hold on. Oh. I don't want to have to worry about my seam not covering the ends of these. Yeah. And I just realized that's a gold one, so I gotta go get a different one. So hold on. Okay, I got it. So the next thing I'm doing, this one was gold. I had to go get, they're so similar. I had to go get another silver one. I was like, and I'm putting a piece of tape under it on the back here to keep it in place so that when I go to top stitch, it's not moving around on me and it's straight. All right. There we go. Oh, beautiful. And I want them to be straight. So that one's a little wonky, but as soon as I put a piece of tape and get it in place, it'll be perfect. And they're meant to hang off the edge. Not a big deal there. We'll trim that all off. But the key is to just, I'll show you what I did with the pattern. I don't think she'd care. She does carry these in 3/4 inch, by the way. Melissa, it's SewYours. I didn't realize it, and I thought, I have these. I've had them for a while. I need to use them. So, and it looks good with the, I'll show you. It looks good with the 1 inch too. So if you only have 1 inch, I'll show you what I did. Trouble, paper trouble. Okay. Okay. Oh, beautiful. Okay. So where's my pattern piece so I can show you? So on the pattern piece, I'm just gonna try and keep this so you don't see much. What I did was, this is a 3/4 inch line here, and all I did was increase that by 1 inch. So from here, from here to here is 1 inch, and here to here is 1 inch. So she really wants you these offset here. That's the whole purpose of it. So that's what I did. And now they're perfect. I'm going to turn it around and look at it, but I don't think it's too much. I think it looks actually very good. Okay. So, did I do both of these? Yeah, I did. All right, so now I'm going to top stitch. Get all that stuff out of the way. And you'll see what I do to top stitch around these D-rings. Just go slow. I just realized a little bit of this is poking out here on both of these, actually. I don't want that. Yeah. The fold over is poking out on this side. I don't want that. Okay, I went as far as I could. I'm going to turn and go straight across. And then I'm going to go backwards because I can't, with this narrow foot, it won't allow me to go over those, the hardware. Yeah, it does. And then I'm just going to go straight back here. I'll do it again, so I'll do it 4 times so you can see it. That looks good. Okay. I am using variegated thread. I maybe not should have, but I am. Okay, so again, I'm starting down here. Go straight up. This would be really cute with some a different color as well. Go as far as you can, then go straight across. And now I'm gonna go backwards until I can turn it around and don't get caught on that double D ring. So much easier. So much easier than fighting with that hardware. I think. Personally. I got my coffee over here, so I'm trying to be careful. Oh, yeah. So you see that? Oh, that looks so good. All right, I'll do these other two on fast forward. You don't need to see that on slow-mo. All right, so all I did was just trim off the excess. Doesn't that look good? Look at that. Oh, love it. All right, now we're gonna put, and I was messing with getting my tag out because I thought, where am I gonna put that? The reason this is shaped the way it is, so you can put your tag right here. I love it. So I just marked my centers, and I marked down the amount she tells you to in the pattern. And then I have tape on the back. This is the other exterior. So I put tape all around the back. I'm just gonna take off that top and get that nice and centered on my piece. Again, I'm using the same cork. It would have been really pretty to do a different cork, but once I get this on there, I think that's gonna look really good. Yeah, I like it. Okay, then I'm gonna take all my tape off. And we'll get that in place. I don't know if you guys ever use tweezers to get some of that paper off sometimes, but when I'm struggling with it, as you know, if you've watched any of my videos, bag making should not be a struggle. And there are parts of it, like this paper off the double-sided tape, can be a struggle sometimes. So I use all available resources to help me with that. So there's that. You can't even see it on camera. Oh dear, that's all right. And now we're gonna stitch around the outside parameter. I gotta get rid of all this stuff here. Okay, I fixed it. You can't even tell. It was right here. It went off. So you can tell a little bit, but it looks like the variegated thread, actually. So now, just like any other overlay, we're going to cut this middle part out. Okay. And the next step is to put on your tag. Okay, so that's what you should have. And that's what you should have. So now we're going to put our tag on. And because I have that Theratex in the back, think I need any other interfacing for this. Okay, I just need to measure where I'm going to put it. Let's see. So I have my centers marked. And I want to center it on my overlay as best as I can. What a great idea. Actually, I'm going to come down just a little. So my it doesn't get in the way of me putting stitching around my overlay. And I'm going to use my new little tool that I got at Shmee from Becky Hannah Woodworking. You should go get one. I mean, they're not cheap, but I'll tell you, you'll have it forever. Do I like that, where that goes? I do. I love it. Oh, you guys. I am going to put a piece of something over this. I didn't warn you that I was pounding. I don't want to use any more of the fleece. And really all it needs is a piece of Decaville Light. That's what I'm going to put over that. Just to keep it from scratching on stuff. I had to get a new roll of 1/2 inch. Look at this thing. It's hilarious, if you ask me. This is from SewYours. I love their, it doesn't tear. That's the only complaint I have about their double-sided tape. But it's very sticky, but you have to cut it. You can tear it, but it's hard to do. It's not worth it. All right, there we go. Okay, making progress. I know that was painful for you guys. It was painful for me. There we go. Okay, next steps. All right, so let's make our zipper pocket. But make your zipper, get your zipper ready, and put the zipper with it going to the left. Your pocket's right side up, your zipper tape is right side up. And we're just gonna baste that in place. And then we're going to pull the other side up and do the same thing. Right sides together. I'm sorry, not right sides together. Our lining, our pocket lining up and our zipper tape right side up. I know. It's kind of funny because every designer does their zippers different, their zipper pockets, which there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. It's always good to have multiple skills for making pockets, and we're going to base that in place as well. Now you have a couple options here. You could just go iron this flat if you wanted to. You could put a piece of tape back here if you wanted to. Or you could baste it, sew it down. To sew it down, you'd have to obviously move your zipper out of the way, which I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm just gonna put another row of stitches there. You need to make sure that it's not gonna show, so just over where you basted it. Just so it lays flat. My iron isn't hot, otherwise I'd probably iron it. And I'm gonna put a little clip here so my zipper pull doesn't come off, but it wouldn't be the end of the world. Probably the best option is to iron it. I will just say, if you have materials that you can iron it. Really. I think that's the best option. But you do you, and I'm sure everybody else will do them. I have to tell you something funny. I just I took a little break and made myself a cup of coffee, and checked on my husband who's out in the pool. And then I sat down on my computer. And because I like that Theratex so much, I went online to Fabric Therapy to see if she has any of her foam. She has the fleece in there, but I just bought 2 yards fleece, so I don't really need the fleece right now. And she's out of the foam. So I texted her and I asked, when are you getting that in? And she said it's arrived at the port, so it should be available next week. Fantastic, I said. Fantastic. I just want to try it. So I'm just going to get, I think you have to buy it. I'm not sure if you buy that in 2 yard increments or 1. Honestly, don't know that for sure. The fleece you buy in 2 yard increments, 2 or 5 yards. So I have 2 yards. That's plenty for me, because I'm trying out a bunch of different interfacings. I got some from SewYours Plus. I got a yard of the Luxe Fuse from Barb's interfacing. Barb's got interfacing. So I'm trying out several. All right, so now we're gonna grab our outside piece and we're gonna put that in our, I'll do the top first. And I'm gonna move my zipper in. Otherwise, you could take your zipper off if you wanted to, but. And I'm just gonna do one side at a time. Yep. And that looks awful. Way too high. Way too high. Okay. I had somebody contact me recently. To send me some stuff, and I said, oh, that'd be fantastic for me to try for them. And I said, just keep in mind, I will be very honest about my opinion. So I won't bash I'm not going to bash something, but if I don't like it, I will be honest about it. All right, I'm just checking that. Okay. All right, so how we're going to do this, I'm just reading her directions and how she tells you to do it. Yep. Fold it up. And I don't like doing this. I don't. I'm going to do it my way, guys. So I'm going to pull this, and I am going to, let me do something here. I'm going to cut it in half. so I can splay it open, and then I'll just close it back up. That's how I prefer to do it. Okay, so I just cut my pieces in half, and I can go all the way around my zipper pull, or my zipper out here. I don't have to do part of it and then do the other part of it. And I am gonna just back stitch. You can't, because I did it here and you can't even see it. Just make sure it's splayed open. You're not catching it, which I think I'm not. Oops. Okay, good, 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 good. I'm pulling my zipper. Okay, good, good. I was talking to somebody at So Magical, and they were saying that their seam ripper is their best friend. They use it all the time. And I will tell you, I use mine a fair amount. I do. All right. Now I'm going to pull that down and we'll close the sides. This is a bound bag, so you don't have to leave any of your pockets open. So fold that over so you can see it. So this cotton isn't interfaced, and my machine is like, what is that? It's fine, it's fine. But it doesn't particularly like it. I just heard the garage go up. What's he doing? He was going to go to Sam's, and I went out and checked, and he said, no, I'm not going to go. I'm going to go tomorrow. And I think he changed his mind again, because I think he's going. All right, there we go. Finished pocket. Cute. Look at that. Doesn't that look so good in there? All right, next steps. Hold on. All right, so the outside zipper pocket is done. We're going to do the inside. So I just have this piece of cork and centered my lining piece. And then, oh, I didn't center this. I'm just going to guess. That looks pretty good. Yeah. So that is exactly the same way we did the outside piece. Okay. Same distance down from the side. We're gonna stitch around the outside of our zipper overlay. So same process, just the outside. All right, now we're going to prepare our strap connector that goes around the bottom of the bag. And this is just a piece that I divided down the middle. And I didn't alter the size of this piece at all. And I'm just folding the raw edges in. To make a 1-inch piece. This double-sided tape loves cork. It's hilarious what it likes and what it doesn't. I don't get it, but okay. And now we're going to measure down what she tells you in the pattern on each end. And instead of, I was going to use my round rings, but I thought they were a little too small. And I don't have 1.5 inch round rings. I only have the 1 inch. So I'm using these square rings instead, which will be fine. And now we're going to, and I'm going to get some more lovely double-sided tape, because we are going to fold that over our rings down to that line that we just drew. And sticking. I just have to laugh. I just have to laugh. Okay, so put your ring on. or your square ring, whatever you are using, and resist the urge to top stitch this. We're gonna top stitch it once it's on. So I know it's hard not to do it. Okay. Same thing on this side. And this time I'm gonna pay closer attention. Let me pull this over here so you can see what I'm doing. To making sure that my sides meet. I'll show you what I mean here in a second. So that there isn't any hangover. So you see there's no hangover there. And there's no hangover over here. Just so it just looks cleaner. Yeah, beautiful. Okay. Now we're gonna grab our gusset piece. And I'm gonna find the centers, and I'll find the center of my strap connector too. Isn't this purple gorgeous? Oh, gosh. It's stunning. I'm just gonna mark this. And then we will attach this down the middle. I'm just verifying that I have everything centered, and actually I'm gonna put some double-sided tape here. Heavy use of double-sided tape today. I know it. It's actually a very beautiful thing. And I'm gonna try and put it right down the center so I don't get it in my top stitching. This monstrosity of double-sided tape. It's hilarious. All right, now let's see. I'm just gonna eyeball it and make sure that I have you know what? I'm gonna mark that, because if I don't, I won't get it right. It's on the bottom and sides of the bag, but you still want it to look centered, for heaven's sakes. Beautiful. Beautiful. Now, I am going to go along and measure that just to make sure. Oh, my husband's calling. Hold on. You guys, I know some of you are married and some of you probably aren't, but it's, if you could see my face, it's pretty funny. I love the man. Okay, let's sew this baby on. And I think what I'm gonna do it. Let's think about this. What's the easiest way to stay away from my hardware? Sorry guys, I don't like what I'm doing here, so I'm gonna do it this way. Okay. Again, what would be really cool is to do a contrasting strap connector. I'm going for all purple on this bag, but it would be really cool to do a contrasting fabric. Now I'm going to go backwards here so I can get a good connection here. And then I'm going to go backwards, reverse, until I get away from my D-ring, my square ring. And then I'll turn it around, go forward. So much easier, guys. You just have to go slow. And I did backstitch, so I'm just going to cut that off. You can't even see the thread, hardly. I'm going to go as close as I can. And then I'll turn it and backstitch. And go backwards. And depending on your machine and the feet, ooh, it skipped a stitch. It depends on your machine and your feet, whether you can, how close you can get to your hardware. This foot doesn't allow you to get too close, so that's what I've come up with, and it works beautifully, actually. Okay. Oh, that is beautiful. Now, I'm going to put some rivets there. Let me see, where are my rivets? One, two, three, four. Okay. Let's just mark where we want our rivets so that they're even. Right there. I don't like the camera angle for this, so I will be going back to the other camera angle. You'll have to tell me what you guys think. You'll probably agree with me, though. That's all right. Always trying new things. I'm always trying to better the camera view, but I don't like this one. If you like it, let me know. I'd be interested. All right, let's put these on. I do absolutely love this Theratex. And I think I already told you that she's getting some more in next week. So that'll be wonderful, actually. Okay. Let me go press those up here. Okay. Look how that turned out. It's gorgeous. I love it. All right, for my zipper panel, I did decide to put some, what is this, SewYours Plus on the back of my cotton pieces. I just thought it's this very similar to Decaville, and I like the feel of it, so that's what I did. So let's get our other zipper pull. Sorry, I'm making a lot of noise. Get my fancy zipper jig that is missing one tong, sadly. And we're going to place, she actually has 2 zipper pulls in her pattern, so I'm going to get another one. Hold on. All right, so I added another zipper pull. Why not? And we're going to put that right sides together with our exterior zipper gusset. And let me get some Wonder clips. And this is just like any other zipper placket. It's the exact same. Man, this is short. Hold please. Okay, my outside piece was a little too long. My guess is these are a little too long too. Yeah, I don't know what I was doing. That's okay. Better too long than too short. That's what I say. Okay. Let's put this together. You can use double-sided tape here if you'd like. I'm just going to base these in place. Watch out for my zipper pulls. My zipper pulls are huge. These little Eiffel Tower zipper pulls. I can't even remember where I got them. I've had them so long. I don't really like them, honestly. They're cute, but they're so big. All right, let's put this lining right sides together with our right side down with our zipper sandwiched in between. And we'll sew that at the full seam allowance. Let me see what she tells you. For seam allowance. Okay. I'm kind of laughing at myself because I've been sewing for years. And I've been making bags for a long time. But I have not branched out in my interfacing world until recently. And it's kind of fun. But I think some of it, honestly, is there are so many options today than there were even a few years ago. I mean, a few years ago, you had 809 and something similar to SF101. And you had fleece. And that's about all you had. Now, I mean, there are so many different kinds. So I'm finding that the ones I'm trying, like the SewYours Plus, love it. The Theratex self-adhesive, love it. Okay, let's go slow bar. This is top stitching. I'm going to go over my zipper too, so I don't have to worry about And now I'm just basting the lining and the exterior wrong sides together. This might be a great bag, honestly, for a Zoom call. A Zoom class. Okay, there you go. Now we're going to do the exact same thing on the other side. And I'll do that on fast forward. Okay, so I did put some SewYours Plus on the back of my lining gusset. I didn't need to, but I just felt like this cotton needed something. And I gotta tell you, this SewYours Plus is beautiful. And it's not expensive. I don't know why I waited so long. All right, let's attach our gussets. Right sides together. Clip. And then our lining, right sides together and clip. And you can baste in between if you want to. No harm in that. I'm just going to check what her seam allowance is. Here. Okay. Just make sure your D-rings and your zipper pulls are all out of the way. Fair warning. Okay. Now we're going to pull those apart. This is a bigger bag than I thought it might be, which I like. I'm not complaining one iota. Oh, guys. And I can't have this here, so hold on. I gotta get this out of my way. Sorry, fella. And then we're gonna top stitch. No different than any other gusset. And then you're going to bring the other right sides together. And clip. And then you'll bring your lining up, right sides together, and clip. And do your full seam allowance again, making sure everything is out of the way. Whoops, sorry. Noisy. Okay. And then we'll fold those wrong sides together and top stitch that. Oh, I like the feel of this already. Yes, I do. Okay. Can be a challenge to get to. Just take your time. Making sure everything's pulled out of the way. And then just like any other gusset, we're going to baste the bottoms sides together so they don't move around on us. Man, this really does have a nice feel with the Theratex and the SewYours. Very nice. I probably wouldn't use both on a bag I had to turn. It might be too much for a bag you'd have to turn. I don't know. This is a bound bag, so I won't be able to tell you. Okay, so let's just baste those in place. Okay, so just like we always do, let's pull those seams together and find our centers on the zipper gusset and on the base. Yeah, this is a terrible angle. I'm sorry, guys. Okay. All right, let me get my other pieces. All right, so we're putting our two together. Wrong sides together. The zipper, internal zipper pocket goes on the side, and you can do it any way you want, but it goes on the, it's actually the front, but it could be the back. And then your zipper pocket with the lining that has nothing on it. And we're just gonna baste those together. All right, so one last step that I would take if I were you is to, the centers that we marked on our gusset, put those together and then make a center mark over here and over here and here and here. That will help when you put the gusset on. Okay. All right, so let's put our centers together. On the top and the bottom. You guys know how I love purple. I know, you know what I'm going to say. Yep. And I love cork. I love cork because it's so lightweight. So, all right, now let's do the side centers. I'm pretty sure we're going to have to clip our corners on all four sides, but let's see. We shall see. This is a very cute pattern. And I think I really like the size of it. Yeah. So let me get my scissors and we will clip our gusset corners. The nice thing about this gusset and the binding is there's no zipper. You're not close to a zipper, which is really nice. Okay, let's do this, see how it goes. The only thing I am not sure about with this bag is how wide it opens. If it opens wide enough for my taste. I mean, I have no idea. We'll see. I think it might, but I'm just not sure. Okay, kind of fold that down in there. And if you have puckers, try and even those out. You don't want puckers. Again, if you end up having puckers, it's not the end of the world. Nope. But most of the time you can pull them and even it out across the bottom, kind of like what I just did. So yeah, there's a little extra right here, so I'm just gonna kind of pull that and even that out across the bottom. I'd rather have a pucker in the bottom than the corner, if that makes sense. I'd rather not have any, ever. not going to happen. Bag making is not a perfect world. This is pretty bulky up here where those connectors are. So just keep that in mind. That's why it's kind of challenging right there. All right. So let's do it. Oh dear, that looks really good. There is one tiny little pucker on the side here, and actually, yeah, just a tiny. And then there is one up here, tiny. Look at that. It's a pretty wide bag. I'm kind of surprised. So there's the front. And there's the inside. Yeah, I was going to use this nope. I don't have enough. So I'm going to go cut some of I have some of this floral leopard in waterproof canvas. I'm gonna go cut some of that. I'll be right back. All right, so I didn't have enough lengthwise, so I'm just gonna put some of my pieces together. And I think this will be enough for both sides. So if you don't know how to make your own binding this way, you just put two sides together, right sides together, and sew it at a diagonal. And then you get a one continuous piece. It's a beautiful thing. Right sides together. Sew it at a 90-degree angle. That's a 90-degree angle. Cut off all your excesses. And then you have a continuous piece. This will be more than enough, and that's okay. I'll save it for something else. Beautiful. And depending on how picky you get, sometimes, depending on the fabric that I'm using, I'll sew on both sides of this just to keep it flat. But I don't think that's necessary today. It's well inside the bag, so it's not going to be seen. And I'm going to start at the bottom. And we'll go all the way around. This is better anyway, because it matches. It's a perfect match. And I'll do this on fast forward. All right, that turned out really pretty good. I didn't have to go around anything more than that first time. I'm going to trim this just a hair. Perfect. It's perfect. Okay, let's put the other side on. Just make sure that you're getting your zipper going to the top. That would be bad if that was upside down. At least for me, I know it would be. I'd be so disappointed. Okay, I'll do this on all on fast forward. right, guys. Let's turn it right side out. That really was not too bad. Now, would I use both Theratex and SewYours on the same bag again? I don't know. I definitely would not do it if I was using vinyl. If I was using cotton, absolutely yes. This cork, I might. I definitely might. I could go either way with cork, honestly. It's pretty thick. But you know, I'm not upset about that at all. Because it's a sturdy bag. Oh, but because it's cork, it's not heavy. Oh, man. Look at this adorable bag. I know, it might be my new bag. Oh my gosh. Look at that. That's a decent size bag. I guess it's got to do the strap. Now there are a couple little puckers, but you know what? I'm okay with that. And so you open it and you've got tons of room. Tons. Do I wish that the zipper gusset went down an additional inch? Yes, but yeah, I would put it down an additional inch. However, it's perfect the way it is too. I have a little poking out to do, so no big deal. All right, let me grab my handle. I mean my strap, and I'll do that with you. Let me grab my pieces. Actually, I think I have all my pieces. She doesn't have you do any connection, just the slider. So I'm thinking about that. There's no swivel clasp. Let me think on this a second. All right, I'm not going to do any swivel clasp. I mean, you wouldn't really take this off. So I put it up and through my slide adjuster. I need to put some stuff on my needle. It's kind of gotten goopy. I think it'll be okay. I'm going to do one more row of stitches. And I did fold my webbing over, even though I burnt it. I just think if you have enough webbing, it's an extra inch. It's worth it. All right, so I have my slide adjuster on there and I did my 2 rows of stitching. So then you want to put on your strap down through either your O-ring or your square ring like me. Bring it back up. Don't twist it. Make sure this is on the bottom. Put it up through your slide adjuster. Back down the other side. Verify that nothing is twisted. And then you'll take this, bring it up. Let me see. Yep, bring it up and fold it over however much you want. Just like that. And then we'll sew that in place. Now, if you want to use square rings, do it. I mean swivel clasp. It's much easier if you do swivel clasp. Now, because now you have to get it down here and sew it with a decent stitch. Not impossible, but you just want to make it look good. And I'm doing 2 rows of stitches. Okay. Clean them up. And before you just walk away, verify that you didn't twist anything and that it looks perfect. Okay, guys, it turned out really good. It turned out so good. Look at that. That's the back. I'm going to consider that the back with the zipper pocket. You have a nice big pocket. Very cute fabric in there. And then this is the front with your little... Now, I think this was supposed to be the top. I could be wrong. Because you want these up higher. It doesn't matter. I think they look fine the way they are. And then you open it up and you have a huge purse. And there's a zipper pocket in there too. I love it. Let me put it on for you. I did a nice adjustable strap because I wear everything as a crossbody. Okay. Could I have made the strap longer? Probably. I made it 52, I think. It's fine. It's fine. Look at that. I want to get in it. I open it up. I get my stuff out. You know what's nice is this is the front, and when I'm wearing it, look what's in the front. The zipper pocket is in the front. I like that. I do. Very cute. And it's cork, so it's very light. Look at that. Wear it however you want. Some people wear it like this. Okay. The Laverna by SewYours. Melissa. Very, very cute pattern. I do not like, I personally don't like these long pulls. But that's okay. I used them on this bag. Somebody might really like them because it gives you something to grab onto. And the zipper overlay gives you place for your tag. And the gusset, you could put, I didn't, but you could put rivets all the way around. That would be an added feature. There you go. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you guys. Be sure to click like, subscribe, and comment. And I may do a live one of these with some of that crock, that aqua crock that I made, or I got. I didn't make it, I wish I had. At So Magical, that aqua crock, and I might use the same lining. Yeah, I think I will. Let's do it. Let's do it this week. Thanks for watching. Of course, you know, by the time I list this video, I probably already did it. Have a great night. Bye-bye. All right, this is what I'm carrying right now. It's a Louis waist pack. I wear it as a crossbody. But I've got everything in here except the foam because it's right there. So that's what I carry every day. So I'm going to put it in my Laverna, my Jordan pouch, my sunglass case, my purse pal. Oh my. My sanitizer. I was just saying oh my because there's lots of room. Some mints, a pen, and a little phone pen, an eyeglass cleaner. That's it. That's all I carry every day. And look, there's room for more. Okay. I love it. The Laverna by SewYours.